Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking, you guessed it, about World of Tanks Blitz Reforged. I know, a lot of you are probably sick and tired of me posting videos on Reforged at this point, but at the end of the day, World of Tanks Blitz Reforged will be coming into the game, and there's nothing that you can do to stop it. It doesn't matter how much you hate on the update, it doesn't matter what opinions we share as the player base. If you don't want Reforged coming into the game and you're going to ignore it and pretend like it's not happening, well, I hate to tell you, Wargaming has ulterior motives and it will be coming into the game. So, there's nothing we can do to stop Reforged, but we can talk about it, we can share our opinions, and I can tell you about when we can expect it to be released. And that is what today's video is going to be about. I'm going to be talking about what I think is going to happen over the next few months and what we can expect from Reforged when it comes to a release date. So if we make our way over to Discord, we can see in my Discord server, these maps are currently being removed next patch. Oasis Palms, Ghost Factory, Mole and Dyke Canyon, and Mayan Ruins. This means that you cannot play any of them in training rooms. They're completely removed from the game until Reforged is released. Now what that means is that Reforged might be in as little as 4 months. Why? Well, it usually takes around 4 to 6 months for Wargaming to release an update to the game. And when they release an update, they change map rotation. So if we do basic math, it means that if these maps are not coming back until Reforged, then, well, in 4 to 6 months, Reforged will potentially be getting released. Now, you want my opinion? I think we're looking at a 6-month window from now to when Reforged is being released. I know this says as little as 4 months, but I don't think that is realistically correct. I think we're going to have one more Ultra test, and then Reforged will be released. And if we look at the previous Ultra tests, right, we look at my live streams here, if we scroll down a bit, we can see the previous Unreal Engine. The first stream I did was about 4 months ago on Reforged. And the latest stream I just did on the second version of Reforged was 7 days ago. So if you do the math there, it means that it was about a 3.5-month period between the first Reforged and the second Ultra test we have. So if this update is to release within the next 4 to 6 months, then that means we can look at another maybe 2 months from now, or 3 months from now. I would say realistically 3 months from now, we're going to get Ultra Test 3. And that will be the final Ultra Test for Reforged. We're going to get the final balance changes of the equipment. We're going to get the final look of what the game's going to feel like. We're going to get all of the final performance and all of these things in about 3 months in Ultra Test 3. And that will be the really last iteration of Reforged. After that, Wargaming will probably try to iron out certain things. They'll do some PR moves. And then Reforged will be released 3 to 2 months after Ultra Test 3. So that's my guess. Yes, we will be seeing Reforged released in about 4 to 6 months from now. And that would line up pretty perfectly with the December update, because right now it's the 6 months of the year, and that lines up, right? If it's currently the 6th month of the year, then in 6 months from now, it'll be right around December. So I'm expecting Reforged to be released right around December. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but I think it would line perfectly up if Wargaming did the December Christmas event and also released Reforged at the same time. That would be when the most players are on break. They're able to try out Reforged. They're able to voice their opinions on whether they like it, whether they hate it, and we will actually be able to play it in its full-fledged form. There are obviously things I still don't like about Reforged, and we can see some of those things right in front of me. I don't like the way they've structured the tech tree. I don't love the way the sets are designed currently. I don't like keys. Nobody likes keys. But it's really up to Wargaming whether they want to overly monetize the game or they don't. Here's the problem. And it is a serious problem which people do need to realize. Reforged is going to ostracize a lot of the player base, specifically the older players. If you are a player that is aged 50 and above watching today's video right now, you are the core demographic of players that is most likely to quit the game when Reforged gets released. And you already know that, right? The older you get, it's a fact. You get less willing to deal with change. And it's just the way it is, right? Because you get stuck in your ways and you don't want to change. And Reforged is making a massive change. A massive change that is taking away a lot of the elements the older players like. World of Tanks Blitz originally was this historical style game, right? Obviously the gameplay wasn't historical, but the tanks and the lines were. And wargaming is kind of removing the nationality aspect, the historical aspect of Reforged, and they're more pitting it as a free for all, mix match set, this and that. And that's going to definitely take away a lot of the elements that some of the older players started playing Blitz about. So I do think that the vast majority of older players will probably stop playing Blitz. Even if it's not at once, over a period of time, we're definitely going to see a shift. Newer players will come into the game and older players will leave. And that's my guess what Wargaming wants. They've realized that you can't build a game on a dying audience. And that's not to say older people are dying, but it's more over time, less and less people are going to keep playing the game if less are coming into it, right? If you have two people quitting Blitz every, pretend, it's thousands, but if you have two people quitting Blitz for every one person coming in, then that means you're losing players. Even if you have, five people quitting Blitz and four coming in, you're still losing players. And that's the major problem with World of Tanks PC, is the turnover rate for, I think, World of Tanks PC was something like 90%. 90% of players that try out the game quit because of how complicated it is, because of the way the game is designed. And it's a problem because you have a lot of people that are quitting World of Tanks PC due to artillery, due to the poor balance decisions and the over monetization of the game. And in return, you have less and less people coming into the game because of the problems with it. And World of Tanks Blitz is probably trying to solve those issues. But the issue is that if they're going to lose a lot of players, they also need to make a way to gain money, because money is their bottom line. They're a company, they need to pay their employees, and that's what they're going to do. So I think they're going to keep keys in the game because they need to make money, and that's going to be a massive way they're going to be able to make money is by monetizing what was previously free, tech trees. Now, that's not to say you can't earn tech trees for free still. You can. But what Wargaming is trying to do here is they're trying to make it if you're a beginner and you want to make your way up the tech trees quickly and you don't want to grind one line at a time, you're going to have to spend money. I've looked at the beginner process. It's not as bad as you think. If you play the game, you put in a few thousand battles, you'll definitely have maybe 5 or 6 tier 10 lines already available to you. And as you play more, you'll level up more. What Wargaming is trying to do is they're trying to make it so that if you spend money, you will progress more. And that's what they're trying to do. So I don't have a problem per se with that. I just don't love the fact that keys exist because I'm a player that wants freedom and you're taking away some of that freedom, right? So that's the issue I have there, especially if they add new tech trees. Am I going to have to spend money to unlock these tech trees? I don't know. We're going to have to find out as time goes on. But either way, point being, World of Tanks Blitz Reforged is coming. And whether you like it or not, it is going to be the future of this game. My recommendation is try it out once the actual release comes, because right now we're still in the ultra test stages. There's still things being ironed out, and we don't know exactly what it's going to 100% feel like until it's released. I think the graphics are a plus. I think the overall physics are going to be a plus. There are still some things which I hope Wargaming listens to me and the player base on, but in general, I'm not hating Reforged, right? I did a video on the Chieftain Mark 6 reviewing the vehicle, and a lot of you watched my review and you said, okay, you know what, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The thing is that a lot of people are hating on Reforged because they just don't want to deal with change. And, when I actually get into the gameplay, I don't hate Reforged. The most problems I have with Reforged are the UI. That's the major problem. It's the fact that they're changing a lot of the functionality that I'm used to. And it's annoying, right? It's annoying because I don't want to deal with that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm not fully against it. Today's video is basically just to let you know that Reforged is going to be released probably within this year, within the next 6 months. That's my guess. I'm pretty firm on that guess as well. I could be wrong, but I don't think Wargaming is going to extend Reforged much longer than that. I think it's why we've been seeing the over monetization of the game over the past few months. Obviously, we just had the Chieftain Proto sold for $2,000. We have the BZT-70 and the what's the Type 5 Heavy. They have all these tanks that they're going to sell for an absolute fortune. And the reason why is because they're probably trying to recoup the money before they release Reforged, because they know there's going to be a deficit for the first couple months maybe. So we'll have to find out. But either way, that's my assumption. That's my expected release date. Hopefully you enjoy the video, and let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.